In relationships, control rarely appears openly. It usually grows slowly, often quietly, and so subtly that it is noticed only when one person is already barely involved anymore. Hello, my name is Sieg. I am the founder of NAVORES and the author of Talking Won't Fix It. A core focus of NAVORES is personal development, not in the sense of psychology or awareness, but in terms of biological rooted mechanisms that shape behavior, communication, and human interaction under pressure. In relationships, control almost never starts as a conscious decision. There's no clear moment where someone says, "From now on, I take over." Instead, responsibility slowly shifts until one leads and the other follows, without this ever being openly discussed. At first, this shift often seems harmless. Statements are commented on, memories are questioned, experiences are checked. Not as an attack, but supposedly out of interest or accuracy. And this is where something begins that later takes up a lot of space. Over time, the dynamic of conversation changes. One person starts to take over, sentences are completed, statements are put into perspective. One tells a story, the other corrects it. And at some point you realize you are still speaking, but no longer deciding what the conversation is about. This form of control is not loud. It does not need threats. It does not raise its voice. It works through meaning. Who decides what is right also decides what counts. And who steers the conversation eventually steers the relationship. This dynamic becomes especially visible when decisions are made. At first, it is major topics that are suddenly decided alone. The partner is informed but no longer involved. Everyday matters may still be discussed, but the important points are already settled. When this is addressed, open clarification rarely follows. Instead, things are played down. You see that wrong, you're allowed to check things, you're exaggerating. The concern is dismissed without ever being taken seriously. Over time, roles begin to shift. One explains, the other justifies. One seems to know, the other starts to doubt their own perception. Not because it is wrong, but because it is constantly corrected. At this stage, control does not feel like power. It feels like instruction. Not like dominance, but like superiority. The control partner is not attacked, but treated as if the world had to be explained to them. What makes this dynamic dangerous is that it does not announce itself. It does not promise order. It does not argue for structure. It simply takes over. And this is why it often stays invisible, because it feels normal, not intrusive. The longer this continues, the more the control partner withdraws. Not out of indifference, but out of exhaustion. Every discussion costs energy. Every boundary is minimized. Every attempt at clarification is stopped before it can begin. From the outside, the relationship may look calm. There is little arguing, few open conflicts, but this calm does not come from stability. It comes from adaptation, not from balance, but from imbalance. This is why control in relationship is often recognized late. It does not arrive as an attack, it arrives quietly, through language, through decisions, through taking over conversations. And at some point, closeness no longer connects, it regulates. Control begins when participation becomes background noise and decisions are no longer made together. Not because someone is cruel, but because power has become quiet and the relationship no longer balances it.